Hello everyone. So in the previous session, I think we completed 3 sessions. So in session 1, we have seen the basics of computer network. In session 2, we have seen the types of computer networks such as LAN, WAN, MAN, PAN, CAN, EAN. So different types of computer network we have seen. In the session 3, we have seen about the topology. So whatever the types of computer we have seen in the session 2, here in session 3, we just discussed how those types of computers are connected in the name of topology. So based on the application, the different types of topologies are there. So with that topology process, we are connecting the devices in the network. So in session for today's session, we are going to see about transmission mode. So till previous session, we know that we just have connected the devices. So in this session, you just imagine that you are going to transmit a message from through that connected devices. For example, so in the previous things, you just saw about the topology. For example, bus topology. One node is here, one LAN cable will be there, one more node will be here, and the cable will be there, and one more node will be here. So till that, the topology process, we completed, we understood the topology. Now we are in the phase how to transmit the message, that is M, from this node to this node. In what transmission mode we can transmit. So that is transmission mode. So the transmission mode is nothing but how the way in which the data is transmitted from one device to another device, which is known as transmission mode. This also can be called as communication mode. Okay, here different type based on the direction we are providing the data, we have different types of mode. That is simplex mode, half-duplex mode, and full-duplex mode. Okay, so where we will decide this transmission mode in physical layer. We will see the OSL layers in details in the upcoming session. So we will have different types of layers. We will discuss about that later. Then next thing is, first we are going to see about simplex mode. So from the figure, you can understand you have one device here. The destination, like the receiver system is there. Only one direction you can send the message. You can transmit the message only in one direction. That is called as unidirectional. So that is simplex mode. Okay, that is unidirectional mode. So the device can send the data, but it will not receive the data. So that is what unidirectional mode. Okay. So from the name itself, we can say that simplex means only one direction, unidirectional only, we can pass the data. That is, you can send the data, but you will not receive the data again. Okay, for example, you just imagine one real-time example for this simplex mode. So we all know about the radio, right? So in the radio, the sender can send the message. We all hearing that. If you want to reply to that user using that radio, is it possible? No. So that is what simplex mode. So as a sender, the radio can transmit the data. Okay, they are transmitting the information, but we are the receiver. We cannot reply back through that devices in that network. So that is simplex mode. Okay, so that is what the example. If it is simplex mode, you have to remember about radio station. Okay, and here next thing, what are the remaining? What are the other examples we can say? You just imagine keyboard. Here also we are transmitting some information. You throughout the session, you just keep in mind that our ultimate aim is to transmit some information, to convey some information. For that, we can use any device. It may be the printer, keyboard, mouse, mobile, computer, laptop, tablet, anything it may be. So here, keyboard is also one node. Monitor is also one node. So here, the keyboard accepts the input and it will pass the data to the computer monitor, but it will not get any reply. So that is the simplex mode. What is the advantage of this simplex mode? What is the advantage? Here you can use entire bandwidth. So entire bandwidth we can use because there is no synchronous communication, right? So the bandwidth will be very high. And what is the disadvantage? If suppose you want to communicate some information, you cannot get the reply back. So that is the simplex mode we were used in the olden days. And next thing is half-duplex. Half-duplex means, first I'll tell you the example, then you can imagine the process. Walkie-talkie. So in the walkie-talkie, at the same time, you cannot transmit the data. Okay. For example, you will transmit the data, it will receive, again it will wait, and again it will send you the data. Once you received it properly, then again you have to send the data. So simultaneously, you cannot communicate, you cannot pass the data. So that is what half-duplex mode. Example is walkie-talkie. So whenever you want to remember something for your exam or any interviews, you just imagine, you just take the example, real-time example. Based on that, you can remember the process, techniques. What is the advantage of half-duplex? The same thing, we can use the entire bandwidth for communication. Half-duplex, yes, the communication will not be very clear, right? So accurate communication we cannot pass. Full-duplex, yes. So we are using the mobile regularly. It is in your hand, right? So that is what the example of full-duplex. Here, the communication is bi-directional. The data flow can be in both directions. I can send you the data. You will receive it. At the same time, you also can send the data. In the same time, also will receive the data. So both the station can send and receive the message simultaneously. That is called full-duplex mode. Okay. This is the fastest mode for communication between devices. And then the most important thing is example telephone network. And then the advantages, yeah, from the name itself, from the process itself, we can see that we can send and receive the data at the same time. Disadvantage, there is no dedicated path. Any path, you can transmit your message in any path. Okay. So at the same time, the receiver can receive the message from anywhere. So there is no dedicated path exists between the devices. So the capacity of communication channel is into two parts. Okay. So this is the comparison of the modes. Basics of comparison. Initially, we will compare using direction of communication. In simplex mode, that is unidirectional, and in half-duplex mode, bidirectional, but only one directional at a time. In the full-duplex, both, that is the bidirectional, we can send the data at the same time, we can receive the data. Okay, and next one is send or receive. So in simplex mode, the device can only send the data, but it will not receive. In half-duplex, it will send and receive, but only one at a time. One in a time, you can send the message or receive the message. The same time, you cannot send and receive the message. Full-duplex, in the same time, you can send as well as receive simultaneously. The performance of when you are comparing the performance of all the duplex mode modes, the performance of half-duplex mode will be better than simplex mode. So this will be much better than the simplex. The fourth full-duplex mode has the better performance. We all know that. And the examples for simplex mode, as I said, radio, and half-duplex mode, walkie-talkies. And example of full-duplex mode is a telephone network. Okay. So I hope you all understood the transmission mode. Okay. In the next session, we will see about the OSI layer. That is the most important topic in computer networks. So without OS layer and the protocols, we could not understand anything in the networks. So we will see in a most important scene in the next session 5. After that, once we complete the OSI layer, then we will go for the lab experiment using packages. Thank you.